But first, the hardest working man in video gaming is back. Again.
Yep, MegaMan has returned. We wish he hadn't.
Yeah, he makes Mario look like a slacker. Except that Mario actually appears in good games. Mega Man, not so much.
So what do you do if you start in dozens of mediocre run-of-the-mill games?
Well, the same thing you do if you've hosted dozens of mediocre TV episodes. You make another one, of course.
Well, MegaMan...
Speaking from experience?
That felt like a self-dig. I can respect that. Somehow,
The Mega Man
Palpatine
franchise
has
is like
returned.
reality TV. At the beginning, sure, it was fun watching the real world and Survivor. But before long, we found ourselves buried by a mountain of garbage crested by the Swan and Who's Your Daddy? No! Stop building that fort made of all the other Mega Man games you own and take a look at Mega Man X8. Yes, that's right. 8. Mega Man X8 insists on dragging out the rotting story corpse of the ongoing war between the Reploids and the Mavericks.
How long must this war go on?
The Mega Man games have been beating this horse so long, it feels like a national pastime. Zero, Axel, and all the rest dash into action with a flair that would make Paul Walker and Denise Richards feel right at home.
Better watch out, X. I might just steal your spotlight. Did I make you mad? Bring it on. Vile, was it?
Oh, it's vile, all right. But I guess I can see why X and his brothers in cybernetic arms don't seem to have the chutzpah of previous games. Enemies like
Earthrock Trilobite.
and
Optic Sunflower.
just don't inspire greatness. And then there's...
Burn Rooster.
At least they didn't call him Flaming For a tiny bit of depth, Mega Man X8 offers character upgrades you buy with shards of metal. But the level design is the real death blow to any gamer hapless enough to
Yeah,
fall
that
into the
looked-
mega pit. If you're a fan of spending hours memorizing board layouts, then this is your game. Certain
Well, it's got
parts
the
of
blue
Mega Man
lights
X8
there.
require you to be downright masochistic. You would think that after a decade of getting killed by spikes, X would get some better shoes. There are a few different types of gameplay found here, but they are more distracting than they're innovative. Unless you enjoy driving snowmobiles into bottomless pits.
That looked like it was on purpose.
One more. I made it! Son of a bitch. On a positive note, Zero's lightsaber and the anti-gravity puzzles are cool. That's about it. For a franchise that peaked in 1989 with the release of Mega Man 2, it's not surprising that all we're left with are the inbred remnants of a broken dynasty. We give Mega Man X8 a frustrating 2 out of 5.
Yes, it's that bad.
If a giant flaming rooster can't save this game,
Part of me wants to believe that it, because it does look like it could be that bad. But the other part of it looks like they were trying to be bad in the gameplay.
I honestly think they were trying to be that bad, because a lot of those spikes and like pits and all that, half of me wants to say skill issue, because they fell in the same death pit twice. Like, not spikes, but the death pit. You knew the platform was there.
Well, it's not even just that, but the platform was marked. If you like,
you
look
saw
at
there's
it,
a
blue line
yeah.
going like, "Hey, it's over here."
I'll grant them that. I feel like
That one where it looked like they landed on it, but they hit the corner of the spikes. That looked kind of BS. Though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'll grant them that trying to come up with new names for Robot Masters or Mavericks or what have you after so many games, it gets kind of difficult, because I mean, even Mega Man 9, 10, and 11 were running on fumes of Robot Master names, and then in X6, 2 games before this, we had a literal dung beetle as a Maverick, Ground Scarovic, and you know, there's only so many adjectives and so many animals you can pull out to use as Mavericks. So I'll grant them that. That's one that I think that one's worthy of criticism. Overall, I feel like that wasn't a terrible review, but I feel like they're just not good at this game. And the way they open it by just saying, yeah, the franchise sucks, so we're not even going to try. But, you know, we should be used to that by now.
I just can't wait until they, inevitably just end whichever franchise with, like, something tardigrade, and you just can't kill it.
Alright, so what's next?
Powered up.
Alright, here we go. PSP remake of Mega Man 1.
Some people believe the best way to sell something old is to make it young again. There's old movies, old movie stars, and finally, Mega Man. With his big eyes and nearly non-existent body, Capcom must have been going for the cutest of human forms, a fetus. Before you start taking your RU-486, look past the overly cheerful graphics to find a solid platforming experience that set the building block for the series. Mega Man Powered Up takes the series back to its early gestation period when timing and jumping mattered more than squeezing every last ounce of blood out of the Mega Man franchise. Play the newer version or play the graphically enhanced original. Both versions reawaken the spirit of why we play Mega Man to begin with. The jumping, the puzzling, the split-second timing, the slowdowns. Maybe not the slowdowns. By taking out bosses with your arm cannon alone, Dr. Light picks up the pieces of your fallen brethren to gently persuade them to your side with electricity and reprogramming.
Down the middle, Hector!
Think Abu Ghraib with fewer dogs. These rebooted rebels then go after Wily themselves with their own special powers and abilities. Some players think you shouldn't kill any of the bosses,
I don't have any reason to fight you, Man.
and others think you have choices since, after all, it is your game.
I can't believe it! Dr. Wily was right. You've changed into a bad robot.
We here at X-Play have a
This is pre-maverick.
pro-death policy. Don't just kill the robot Cretan, crucify them and leave them for dead on the road to Damascus. It's the only way from deterring bosses like Tomahawk Man and Dynamo Man from appearing in the future. One of the best features about this game is the level editor. By picking up bits and pieces throughout the levels, players design their own levels and put them out on the web. Here's one we made called Life. Well, that's life for you. You could also recreate famous scenes from plays like Our Town.
Emily, psst, do you have answers to problems?
Oh, God! Oh, the transition of life is so hard to me now! Add on the challenge levels, 8 playable bosses, 2 game styles, and you'll find a game that not only gives homage to the original title, but improves on the formula. We only wish the system could keep up, but that's life for you. That's why we're giving Mega Man Powered Up for the PSP 4 Proto Men out of 5.
Fetuses are adorable. They didn't eventually turn into children. I get one.
I feel the same way about sex.
Children are just like Mega Man. They start out cute and fun, and then they just keep staying around, seeming less and less adorable.
Acquiring magnet beam power-ups.
Yeah, there are a few things more annoying than a toddler with the capacity to create temporary energy-based platforms.
That's why we target our show for more mature viewers.
I wonder why we could never get anyone to sponsor games for menopausal bastards.
I don't know. Sounds so good.
Yeah, that was just weird. I'm not gonna lie, that ending was just weird.
Yeah, the ending,
It didn't seem just outright distasteful, but it was weird.
I don't even know what to make of that.
Yeah. Let's just cleanse the palate on that one and go to something worse, probably.
Not bad. Not bad at all. The only thing that hasn't aged well at this point is, yeah, you can put them on the web. Yeah, services are down. Services are discontinued for Mega Man Powered Up. PSP is officially dead.
I'm sure there's some kind of...
Oh, yeah, they are archived and preserved, a lot of it. I just don't know how to distribute them anymore.
Yeah.
Distribute.
Anniversary collection review. There's gonna be like, it's just a whole lot of bad rolled up into one package.
To celebrate Mega Man's 15th anniversary, Capcom has released Mega Man Anniversary Collection on the PS2 and GameCube. Okay, so Mega Man's 15th anniversary was in 2002, but hey, who's counting? The stars of the show are the classic Mega Man games. They may not look as good as you remember, but they've lost none of their challenge. Seriously, these games will kick your ass and leave you bleeding in the parking lot. Old school gamers will get a nostalgic rush. Newbies will get to see what it was like back in the day when we didn't have all these fancy memory cards and hard drives. In 1987, we finished games in one sitting, and we liked it. Playing them back to back, the games are strikingly similar. Yes, Mega Man 2 is a masterpiece of 8-bit game design, but can you tell me which game this is from? Only a devoted fan would know it's Mega Man 5. This perhaps says more about the innovative nature of the early games than a lack of quality in the later ones. The exceptions are Mega Man 7, the series' first foray into 16-bit territory, and Mega Man 8, a multimedia extravaganza from the Saturn and PS1 that still looks good. You might want to skip the cutscenes, though.
Hey, Zach! Why must they fight you? We are not enemies!
Shut up! Apparently, Dr. Light has been taking speech classes from Elmer Fudd.
Something this powerful must not fall into the hands of evil.
And they liked it better when the enemy robots didn't talk.
You can call me handsome guy!
Wow. A word of warning, if you're torn between the PS2 and the GameCube versions, the PS2 version is the way to go. The GameCube version of Mega Man Anniversary Collection has the jump and shoot buttons reversed, making the games extremely hard to play. If you're a fan, you already own this. If you're curious about the legacy of the little blue guy, this is a great way to experience it. Lovers of tough, no-nonsense platforming will find a challenge worthy of their skills. Oh, screw this.
We all do
Mega
that.
Man Anniversary Collection nets itself a 4
Yep.
out of 5.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I can't really say that anything was outright wrong about that one. I didn't know that about the GameCube version, though. That does make sense.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. That sounds absolutely atrocious.
I can name a handful of games where I played on both the GameCube and PS2 where I preferred the controller of the PS2 for gameplay. But yeah, that would throw me off so bad. So okay, that's not bad at all. So moving on, I guess. X Collection next.
They're not gonna be as nice to this one.
They are not.
Today we're focusing on games celebrating the glories of robotics.
Now, back in the 80s, robots started to get a bad name. They're always taking jobs from Midwestern auto workers.
And serving beverages to the cast of silver spoons. See, people resented robots. They hated them.
This led to the Robot Exclusion Act of 1987. This law restricted robots from participating in most professions.
Robots that had previously worked as doctors, accountants, and lunar rovers were forced into a few designated professions.
Most of them became slot machines or air filters.
But as we enter Robot History Month...
Is it Robot History Month again already?
Yeah. See, it goes Black History Month.
This seems really
Robot
distasteful.
History Month, Asian History Month, then Gay Olympian History Month.
Oh, God, I can't wait to learn
Yeah, this
more
seems
about
really
that.
distasteful.
Gold Star, Babe Zaharias.
I know. That's June, though, so we've got to wait. For now, it's Robot History Month. And it's time to turn our focus on the achievements of robot Americans as they overcome their past oppression.
Like robotic hero Mega Man and slightly taller doppelganger X?
Why not?
Oh.
Here's our review.
Yeah, I
of
didn't
Mega
like
Man X
the
Collection.
start of that at all.
Mega Man has gone from one of the most beloved of robots to arguably the most hoarded out character in video games. Mega Man X Collection chronicles the spin-off series that marks the beginning of the Blue Bomber's street-walking days.
Sequel, not spinoff.
Mega Man X was actually a bit of a revelation in its day. After years of Mega Mans that recycled the same old crap over and over, Mega Man X took the stale Beat 8 robots and Dr. Wily concept and, well, replaced Dr. Wily with Sigma and replaced Mega Man with X. X happens to look exactly like Mega Man, just taller. But the game was bigger, prettier, and took a small cue from Metroid by letting you upgrade X's abilities as you progressed. After that, well, Capcom is as Capcom does. And what Capcom does is the same thing over and over for years and years. The X series declined slowly but surely. X2 was still a good game, but the story had become unintelligible. X3 tried to mix things up by finally making Zero a playable character, but you can't get out of a rut with just long hair and a lightsaber. It's almost painful to watch as Mega Man X Collection spins the tale of a slowly deteriorating game series, all on a single selection screen. The first three are so good, it's insulting to have X4, 5, and 6 in there. It's like taking a family portrait to remember the good times, but letting a few heroin addicts stand in the back just because they have the same last name. Oh, and it's a really minor thing, but why did they take out Mega Man's little Hadouken shout when he throws a Street Fighter fireball?
I'll give him that.
You mock my nostalgia, Capcom. Sorry, but this is fans only, folks. Mega Man X Collection is as much a sad reminder of how this series has suffered as it is a joyful romp down memory lane. A 3 out of 5.
You know, I wish I could resent Mega Man for producing so many mediocre games, but he's just so cute.
The popular human media would lead you to believe the robots are all twisted steel.
I don't want to let that have any more screen time.
Alright, so, I feel like a lot of references at the very beginning went over my head a little bit. I do get that it's a joke in there, trying to have some comedy in there.
And that wouldn't have flown today at all, and it shouldn't have flown back then.
Again, I feel like a lot of it went over my head. I get that you can't really compare like Black History Month to a fictionally made up Robot History Month.
The problem from that is it's making light of it.
Oh, okay.
It's taking real like problems and struggles of marginalized people and just kind of making jokes out of it, and that's distasteful and wrong.
Okay.
I had little to no respect for them as like reviewers.
Oh, yeah, but,
to begin with,
yeah.
That made me lose respect as like people. That made me angry.
Yeah. Now, if you're just here for the Mega Man content, though, I would say the one that immediately discredits this is them saying that it's a shame that X4 is on the same disc as X1, 2, and 3. 4 is the fan favorite.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but it is the fan favorite out of the X series. Everyone puts that one up on a pedestal. And it is great. I think X5 is great. We've talked about X6 before and how it has its problems, but how are you going to bag on X4 unless you're one of those who just says the SNES is the only thing that matters? You know, basically they hate anything higher than 16-bit. So that's just where I don't think that they...
Yeah. No, this one was really bad for more reasons than even I expected.
Yeah, just bad review of games and bad just jokes and commentary in general.
Yeah.
And let's not even finish out this one. Let's just go ahead and on to the next one. I think we have one more left. Oh, this was 16 minutes. Oh.
I would say let's.
Do we even want to go with the entire thing? Because this video is game series that need to die. So let's just scroll through and get to the part with Mega Man in it, because that's what we're here to review. Alright, so this last one isn't really a full review. We're just taking this segment from their game series that need to die video. Of course, they put Mega Man on here, so we're gonna just take a look at that and just kind of round this off, because I'm kind of tired of watching these guys.
Yeah. Here we go.
To die with dignity. And this is why I periodically take trips to nursing homes to give the residents the opportunity to die in battle so that they might feast forever on the flesh of their enemies in Stovokor or Valhalla or the warrior afterlife of their choice. Now sometimes this consideration needs to be offered to game franchises as well. So here's an installment of our Pritzker Prize winning series, video game franchises that need to die.
We're in your childhood ranch of memories, slaughtering your sacred cows and serving them up with tangy barbecue sauce. Today we're taking out Mega Man, a robot from the not-too-distant future who can't raise his arm more than 90 degrees. James Barry once wrote that 2 is the beginning of the end. See ya! Nothing is truer than when it comes to Mega Man, a game that cut its teeth on platforming and quickly degenerated into anime drivel along with bucket-scraping bosses. Train Man? Does he toss hobos at me? But Morgan, Mega Man was a part of our childhood. You have a compelling case there, Skippy. First off, let me just say, your childhood sucks. Second, watch this.
Hey, Zach! Why must I fight you? We are not enemies!
Shut up!
Sounds like Dr. Light's been rooting around Mega Man's dongle. Unfortunately, the Mega Man series has already ended, finished, ceased, and desisted, deader than Terry Schiavo during an election year. Some believe that the series just ran its course. I, on the other hand, know for a fact that Mega Man beat up a Taiwanese soldier, and you know what happened then. Thus, we here at X-Play are forced to empty our venom sacks into one of Mega Man's inbreed bambinos. X-Play presents games that need to die. Mega Man Battle Network. Lan, the protagonist of this little tragedy, gallivants across a futuristic series of tubes to combat an international crime organization with a program that resembles the Blue Bomber. If Equivalently, this would be like some 10-year-old running around fighting gang wars with the 38 special he found under his dad's pillow. This has got to be the most neglectful parents or laziest late-term abortion I've ever seen in my life. Couldn't you just keep the Drano on a lower shelf like everybody else? MegaMan manages to cram in random encounters, card battling, fetch quests, Twitch muscle action, and enough text to count for an English credit at Florida State. With so much suffering squeezed into one game, the only way you could make an emo kid any happier is by combining LiveJournal with cutting. If you mess up an entry, you have to switch to the other thigh. This new incarnation of MegaMan battles includes the most dastardly of foes, such as these helmety things and porn on the internet. Not like the real internet. The real internet has pop-ups asking me about refinancing my house, finding that special someone online, random drug trials, and countless online postings questioning if I'm really a gamer. Look, I don't send out emails asking if you were some annoying little brat, because I already know it's true. In a matter of 5 years, MegaMan Battle Network has managed to pop out 6 titles, and all of them with the exact same graphics. If we don't stop MegaMan Battle Networks now, then the terrorists have really found their special someone in their lives. Wait, no! Haven't finished ranting yet!
You know, thanks to advances in modern medicine, we'll all be living much, much longer. Yeah. Unfortunately, they'll easily...
All right, first of all, exact same graphics. Again, false. They changed after Battle Network 3. There was no, like, objective review of that at all. It was all just opinions, and a lot of it was just throwing shade at the fans.
Yeah.
I feel like these have just slowly deteriorated into incomprehensible drivel as we've gone through them. With a couple actually halfway decent ones, like, scattered in between.
There were a few that were just really good.
Like, decent reviews. Like, Powered Up, decently, fair review. X7, harsh, but not unfair, I don't think.
Yeah.
Maverick Hunter, again, pretty decent. Honestly, they do best when they are not in front of you. They do best when it's voiceover only.
Yeah.
For the most part. So.
I don't know. This just...
I still get the delicious bit of irony when you get all these people who were throwing shade at Battle Network specifically.
Yeah, right?
Because we're here 20 years later, still playing it, and the show's been off the air for who knows how long. I think that they have a YouTube channel. Like, I think that they have, like, a spiritual successor going on.
I don't know.
But it's not relevant anymore. So, how about that sales sweep, too? Over 1 million copies in less than 2 weeks.
Right. Sold out.
Yeah, completely sold out, physical copies. Yeah, just... If I could laugh in their face, like, in person, I would. There's a handful of people, there's a handful of naysayers that I would like to just... I would enjoy that. Like, I don't often try to be bitter. I don't try to be that kind of salty in real life, but there's a handful of times I make an exception. This is one of them. So, you got anything else to add, or you're just kind of done with them?
If you're gonna review something, just at least when it's like reviewing a technical thing like a game, just try to keep the bias out of it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I can look at something from a series that I don't like, but if I see something that is good in it, I'll acknowledge the good in it.
And it goes both ways. It's like the Dark Souls games.
Yeah.
Like, love Dark Souls.
Yeah.
2's not. It's just not good. And, like, review it. Like, if I went into 2 after playing 1, I would want to keep the, but 1 was so good out of my review.
I can respect that. I can respect that.
But vice versa, if 2 was my first, and then I went into 3, I'd want to keep the 2 was so bad out of 3.
You would instead be more hyped for 3 being good.
Yeah, it's like review what you're reviewing. Stop.
You're not talking about the franchise as a whole. You're talking about the individual game in front of you.
Yeah. Like, comparison isn't bad, but bringing the bias from a comparison is.
Yeah. The one time I'll say they kind of get a pass on that is when you're talking about collections, because it is multiple games.
Yeah, it's literally multiple at the same time.
Again, I think they were just flat out wrong with saying that X4 was syphilis, or, no, it was heroin addicts, is how they described it. A lot of distasteful jokes in these, though.
Yeah, that's what their market was, though.
Was G4 its own TV show, or was it just a block on, like, Spike or something?
I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah, cable and satellite's basically obsolete at this point. So
it's faded that far out.
yeah, so I'm basically, I just have to say on G4, and you know what? I'm not looking back. I'll look back on our videos and laugh at them there, but I'm not giving them my time anymore.
Yeah.
Well, do you got anything else to add before we end off?
This has been deeply unpleasant.
Yeah, so let's do something more fun after this. Thank you for sitting in for this, salty shit fest with us, because that's basically what this was here. Bunch of salt from them, bunch of salt from us. So we're gonna go
do something else.
Do something else. Something that doesn't kill our brain cells that quickly. This has been Blade Cross EXE.
And Ryoji42.
Part of Flagship Blades Productions, and we'll see you guys in whatever the next video is. Peace out.
Peace.